Okay, so we're on Devlog 20, and here's where we are at. So what we've been basically focusing on so far is we've been changing up the map quite a bit, where all of a sudden I realized, right, well, if I want the player to be able to move around the map, to travel around the map, and for almost random events to be popping up as the player moves around, the map needs to be bigger, like a lot bigger. So I made the map about 3 times as big as what it was before, meaning I had to add quite a few new functions. I had to figure out, right, well, how is the player going to be able to actually move around the map? As in, for example, you right click an area and it then takes a piece there. That was so much more complicated than it had to be, and I wasted so much time trying to figure this out. And eventually I was able to figure it out and I was able to get it fixed, which I'm glad. But I think just realizing that one of the biggest mistakes I've been making is I didn't have a clear enough plan as to what I wanted out of the game. And so it's just been this constant struggle of thinking, do I want this? Do I want that? And so I've been changing things as I go. And honestly, I think probably there is a part of it where you're going to change things as you go. But I went into this completely blind and I've spent a lot more time fixing and changing things about than I have been making things. So that's pretty much what we've got, because originally what we had was where you would click on a certain district icon, you click travel, and you'd move straight there. And then eventually you'd have a random chance of something happening along the way. But I didn't really like that idea because it felt that the player wouldn't really have as much control, where they could just travel to a district and all of a sudden bandits are there, right? Which isn't really that fair. So what I've now done is effectively a map style where you can right click to move your sort of player piece around, and as you move, the idea is that nodes should pop up, or at least like with their own area, where if you walk into them, you can then interact with them. So there could be enemy nodes which have a red ring, which then as you sort of which perhaps can actually move around. So if you get into that radius, you then have to fight them. Even things like merchant nodes, event nodes, mystery nodes, critical of like critical. I think like critical hazard nodes, stuff like that, where it just makes traveling around the map a bit more reactive, a little more, yeah, just reactive, I'd say, because that way it means that when you're trying to get to a district, if there's things in the way, then maybe you want to take a different path. And perhaps in certain districts, there's certain types of enemies as well. So there's a lot of things to sort of think about, but that's generally what we're looking at the moment. Now, what I will say is we are coming very, very close to the ideal release of the game. I'm recording this at the 30th of November, and the plan is ideally to release this within the next, 20 days? Like 22 days, because I didn't really want to be doing this around Christmas time. So ideally, I want to release this, or at least apply to release this just before Christmas. And I've got quite a lot of things to do on my to-do list. I haven't even got the game finished yet. So I don't know if I can do this, if I'm quite frankly honest, but we're going to keep pushing at it. I'm going to keep updating you every step of the way. So that's pretty much where we're at. And honestly, like I've got a massive Trello bit, like a massive Trello list of all the things that I believe I need to do from now to get the game finished. And that list is quite long. So really over the next, I guess, 2-3 weeks, I'm just going to be trying to hammer down and get that list really just done and as good as possible. And ideally, again, I want to make sure the game is good. If it gets to the point where it's, I don't know, hits the 22nd of December and I think the game is not yet finished, I won't release it, right? I'll release it in January. Ideally, I want to release it by the end of the year just because it'll be a nice milestone. But if it's not as good as it can be, obviously I'm not going to release it because I do want to make sure the people that have wishlisted it, people that are interested, are actually going to get an actual enjoyable experience, and they're not just going to be dealing with issues or with a game that isn't as good for the money they've invested. So next week, pretty much the focus is going to be this. I'm going to be making sure that I'm actually going to start making all the actual event nodes, where I'm going to be making all of the actual sort of scriptable object stuff, so that we've got a varying amount of event nodes that pop up to keep the game quite replayable and immersive. Then from there, I'm going to be focusing on making sure I make all of the district building scripts, such as, the merchant, the training grounds, and such. And really from there, it's going to be then be going revisiting the combat scene, because I had someone say that they were able to two-shot the boss in the demo, because I didn't get enough time to finish off the combat stuff in there, so that's no surprise. So I'll keep you in the loop, but that's generally the process at the moment. So thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.